dynamic queue has started testing in North America, and it's gonna try and hit everywhere before the ranked season starts. And I thought after seeing some of the criticism, some of the hatred for it and whatnot, maybe to just throw around a few ideas from memory lane as to why that dynamic queue might have its issues, but so did the original method, depending on which mode you were playing. For example, I called Phil. Yes, I called Phil. That means I don't pick until the rest of you guys pick. Oh, so you two are just gonna argue about who called mid first? Okay, I'm sorry, you're just gonna take the entire 70 seconds to decide this argument and leave me with like no time to pick my champion. Maybe I was trying to be strategic, fit a champ that works with the comp kind of thing. Oh, that's my fault for trying to be intelligent. Okay, so now it's my fault you didn't get mid because I called Phil. I have a support Teemo because he wanted mid, didn't get mid. He locked in Teemo and he's taking all of my CS right now. If I try and farm as well, I don't know. Neither one of us are going to get fed here. So let me just let him have the farm because I don't really feel like arguing with him. I do only have 10 CS because I'm playing support Jinx by accident. I don't know what happened. You don't know what happened? I'm pretty sure you know what happened. Deathcap, first item, support Teemo. I mean, there's just a few things. But yeah, so the new dynamic queue, one of the things I do like about it is the fact that you most likely might be able to get your role going into the champ select, right? You can call, like for me, I'm definitely calling AD carry. I don't know what I'm going to call second at this point because I'm kind of bad at every role but AD carry. I guess I could play support still. I really don't want to play support though. I want to play AD carry, and I like the fact this new queue does allow this to happen. Problem is, of course, sometimes you might get that second thing. And what I mean by the problem is I've tried to watch some streams and look at how this thing works. And there's been times where you could go like ADC support, because maybe you're not an AD carry main specifically, you're like a bot lane main. You do AD carry and you do support, and then you get support every time. You don't get AD carry. So I mean, there's probably that that little bit of a coin flip there. And on top of that, because there's bans, of course, right now in the ranked modes, because they're thinking about doing it for blind pick, for example, in which you just take the bans away. But at the moment, between bans and between the fact you might not get your primary role, that's some of the backlash I'm seeing for dynamic queue. Because the one thing that was nice about Team Builder, even though I too kind of didn't like the long queue times, I did like if I was done with college work or I came home for some reason, I only wanted to come home and just play AD carry. I could just play not AD carry and something, it was just AD carry, wait out the queue time and just spam Jinx or something for the night. If I was just having one of those times, it was like, I don't want to fool with mid lane madness, I don't want to fool with jungle troubles, I don't want to fool with top lane Tilt City or Farm Fest Simulator. I just want to play some AD carry, I just want to do this, I'll just wait for the queue time, I don't care. You know what I mean? Like the old Team Builder did have that going for it, but it didn't have much else in my opinion besides that. Because support, for example, took forever to find, and you really never really put together team comps, right? You just it got to the point because queue times were so long, it just got to the point where you didn't really matter what the heck the support was at one point. The fact that support even showed up, you're like, you know what? Everybody else had to have, show their cards to the security guard to get into this party. You're just in because this party's not going anywhere right now, and we need a disco ball. I know you're support Darius, and you know what? As far as I'm concerned, you have a hook. You're Thresh. I know your name says Darius, but in my heart, you're Thresh. Can we just get on with this game? You know what I mean? Like the queue times, I'm not saying that's an actual conversation, obviously, but that was the mindset, right? Like you didn't want to wait too much longer anymore because sometimes the wait time is just ridiculous. Now, the one thing Team Builder had was that you could pick a specific role and you always got it because you queued up in that role already, right? You couldn't even get in until you selected your champ and you secured your masteries and runs and stuff. With this new one, that kind of goes away, and of course with bans as well. The risk is also that if you don't also get the role you wanted, and the role set you do have, that might be a role where there's actually legitimate bans going against it, and so now you might have to go into your pool a little bit. But that was always the way it was in draft mode too, right? Draft mode had the bans, and the only difference was it was call orders, so you still had to call out what you wanted, but you probably still most likely got a role you wanted if you were fast on the fingers, right? sorry, my computer might not be as fast as yours, but at least you got what you wanted, so hey, okay. Which is why I kind of didn't want to do this video until they implemented it on Blind Pick, because I kind of want to see how that experience would work out. Like, without bans, you still have, like, pick intent and all that stuff. I don't know, but it is kind of interesting with pick intent, seeing what your, allies wanted to pick, and then because someone doesn't like what you want to pick for what role, they now have a ban to do it. That's not divided up amongst 3 people, though. So, I'm not saying that's the thing that's been happening, but that is a thing that's been happening. I saw it happen in one specific game. Someone wanted to play a support champion in the top lane, because they were actually, if you go look at their match history, was actually pretty good at this off-meta pick, and it got banned away for them because they didn't want to risk losing the game off of your pick. So some tendencies apparently are going to carry over, but I do like the notion. I think the new Q is going to take some time to get used to, first of all, and it's probably going to take some time to grow on us. But I think after, it probably needs a bit of, like, love to it. They keep looking at data and stuff and trying to fix certain things. But I think this new champ select could be something cool, because one of the reasons I don't play ranked is because all I want to do is play AD carry, and 90% of the time that I play AD carry, all I want to do is play Jinx. Now that this mode exists, I might play ranked. I don't know. Ranked also obviously has its other problems, but this problem has been solved, and I might actually be able to queue up and actually get AD carry most of the time that I'm playing ranked, because that's really all I want to play anyway. Now, granted, yeah, of course, maybe you should be able to at least play each role, but there's just some roles you're not good at. I'm not saying, like, everybody's always going to be bad at least one role, but there's probably one of the roles, even if you're decent at it, you still will probably consider it your weakest role, right? And now with the way this new dynamic queue works, I do like that that's kind of, like, fixed, right? So the fact that with this new method, I can actually queue up for rank, and not actually, have to even fear playing jungle, most likely. I do like that, though. So, I mean, it's what and what. It depends on the person, it depends on who your skill is in each role. But in my personal, opinion, after seeing all this stuff, I think it could be something. I'm not saying it's there yet, but I think it could be something. So we're just gonna have to give it some time. On the 19th, if it isn't where they want it to be, they're gonna revert everything to the old, champ select anyway, and we'll be back to support Teemos and Threshes that are actually Darius's with like a Thresh cloak on them, and all that fun stuff. It might be bad now, but it might look terrific, like 6 months from now even or something. So I thought I'd just throw this video out real quick. Again, this is my opinion, so I don't see this thing like gospel law or anything like that. But I don't know when the next video is gonna be, because we're still working out a few kinks. But until then, take care. GG, get jinxed.